What do the songs leave me alone, and the way you make me feel have in common? Well, besides the fact they were written by Michael Jackson, they both use what is called the shuffle groove. Let me show you what I mean. Welcome to more weekly homework madness. This time I will be explaining the shuffle groove, which is quite a step into a different direction. This drum beat will require a bit of trading in time signatures, because we are not in the standard 4/4, which I will show to you. First off, let me explain what the hell I'm talking about. In standard music making, everything is split into bars. When we have one bar, we usually count it in 4. So it's 4 beats conforming to one bar. Now the top number is the number of beats in a bar, while the bottom number is the divisions, also known as length of each beat. So when we have a 4/4 time signature, we have 4 evenly spaced beats in a consistent division of 4. If it's a 4/8 time signature, we would divide it into 8 instead of 4. Bars can only contain even numbers, while the numbers of beats can be whatever it wants to be. Well, except for decimal points, only whole numbers. Now the science behind it is complex, but it makes sense if you count in a continuous pulse, kind of how metronomes work. With a 3/4 time signature, we have 3 evenly spaced beats, with the length of each beat conforming to 4. The number of divisions stays the same, because of the idea of dividing using even numbers, but the number of beats doesn't. If you're stuck, I'd link the time signature document if you are new to these things. With the shuffle groove, what we are doing is taking 4 evenly spaced beats and squeezing it into a bar of 3/4. So we are effectively using 3 counts, the same way we do for this time signature, to create a bar of 4 beats. It seems hard, but if you listen you will understand it more. With the use of the shuffle groove, you actually accelerate the tempo into rather fast places. Note, the way I'm doing this in my DAW is I've shortened my bar, so it will play 3 even beats, but then I've added 4 even beats within this bar of 3. In this case, I've done it as a 4 on the floor style. It's good because it feels like a wonky version of the classic disco pattern. Think of it as each pulse comes in 3 rather than the standard 4. So the whole number of divisions in a bar of 3 would be, well, not 16, if you were to do it this way. I think I've bored you enough with the technicality of it all. Let's play some examples. I've already shown you the 4 on the floor shuffle variation. All it is the snare on 2 and 4, the Hess playing on the off beats, and the kick on all 4 counts. Remember, we are doing this in a bar of 3, even though we count it and feel it as 4 beats. This one is more akin to the rock style pattern, like I showed you in the 8th note/16th note video. In this case, all 16th notes are used for the hats. Because the bar is shorter, the time it takes to get to each beat is shorter, therefore it becomes slightly jagged. This next pattern is actually quite popular and consists for the most part the beats playing in 2 and the standard 4 pulse. This pattern is now 2 bars, totaling up to 8 instead of 4. In the middle is a couple of offbeat kicks to swing at home. The hats are just quarter notes, nothing fancy. Reach by Desktop 7 is a popular example of using this variation. Spoiler, I never liked the song. Don't ask me why. Same deal as before, but I changed some of the kicks around to make a different groove. At the beginning I omitted a beat, just to emphasize the space, and moved the offbeat kick variation to the end. Hats are now 16th notes. Not much different, but different enough. This one has 2 kicks before the snare, pretty much tripping the kick into the snare. It looks like 8th notes, but really it's not. The hats are playing quarter notes, this time with the open hat. This is the same, except there is an additional kick before each of the main accent, reminds you of a galloping horse. I removed some kicks as a way to simplify it. In essence, it's the same as before, but well, simpler. All main beats have been covered. Let's end on fills. 3 notes are added at the end, in a classic fill. Or you could add a snare before and after for a unique idea. Not just snares, but kicks too. This one has a note at the end to slip back into the repeat. Or you can do 3 kicks before the loop. You can have snares on all quarter notes, still being in a bar of 3. This one adds a note before each of the pulse, in what I would call a skip rhythm. 16 note rolls do exist here too, or well, 12th notes, since it's a bar of 3. And finally, you could start a pattern, then end with a 6-note roll. That's all of them. Hope you got value out of this. As with the others, it's your job to create a track using this groove. There is no strict law in how you create it, but you must use a 3/4 time signature with 4 evenly spaced beats. The rest is up to you. Like with others, you can get away with just the kick, snare, and closed hand. But again, this is all your artistic merit. I'm just giving examples. As always, good luck and have fun. Catch you later.